I don't know why I haven't made this sooner. Today we're making high protein chicken fried rice. And this right here is everything we're going to need, plus the additions of rice, oil, salt and pepper. Now the first thing we want to do is get 350 grams or 1 3/4 cups of washed jasmine rice into a saucepan. Add in 600 milliliters or 600 grams of cold water. I like to add a pinch of salt. We'll place this over a high heat and then bring this up to a boil. Place on a lid, reduce the heat to low, and we're going to cook this for 10 minutes, which is 2 minutes less than what we usually cook it for. Once it's cooked, we're going to then take it off the heat, but leave the lid on for a final 5 minutes to finish off steaming. Once it's cooked, we'll carefully remove the lid, fluff it up with a fork or a spatula, and you'll just have this nice sticky and soft jasmine rice. Transfer the rice to a large tray and then spread it out evenly just so it's not all clumped up and sat on top of one another. Preferably we'd do this the day before and then have this resting overnight so it's completely cool, and then that's that day old rice that traditional fried rice is made with. But you can make it the same day and just chuck it in the fridge for about 15 to 20 minutes, which is exactly what we're going to do. While we wait for the rice, we'll crush 2 cloves of garlic with the side of our knife and then just go through and roughly chop. Doesn't have to be perfect, just nicely minced. You can also grate it on a microplane to create a paste, and you can also thinly slice it for this one. But for me personally, I'm going with the larger pieces as you get that nice nutty flavor on the garlic. All we're looking for is something like this. I'm using 4 spring onions or scallions, and we can just line these up and thinly slice. You can cut them on an angle for that nice presentational look. And for this, usually I'd use the green stem for garnish and then the white root just in the stir fry or whatever we're making. But for this one, we're going to mix both together and we can use it for both parts of the recipe. The sauce is super easy. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of light or low sodium soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. You don't have to use this, but it's mainly for color. 1.5 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, completely optional, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and add in a little bit of ground white pepper. Give that a whisk, just make sure everything is evenly combined, and then we can pop this aside for the time being. Last but not least is the chicken. I'm using 800 grams or 1.8 pounds of boneless and skinless chicken thigh. You can use chicken breast if you prefer, and I like to cut this nice and small. So what I'm going to do is just slice this into thin strips. You can cut this however you like. Rotate those strips and then just go through and dice these into those nice small pieces. Whichever way you do decide to cut this, just make sure it's all the same size. That way it'll all cook at the same rate. All we're looking for is something that looks like this. Now in a large pan or wok, add in 1 tablespoon of peanut oil or any neutral flavored oil, and just make sure you get this pan nice and hot. When it's lightly smoking, we can add in all of our chicken. Lightly season with a little bit of salt, a little bit of ground white pepper. And then all we need to do is just spread this around just so it's not sitting on top of one another. We're going to let this cook for about 2 minutes without touching it, just so it can build up a crust and develop flavor in the pan. After a couple of minutes, give it a mix around. We're going to cook this for a total of about 7 to 8 minutes until cooked through in the center. And you have that really nice golden color all over the chicken. Don't mix it around too much, otherwise you'll knock too much heat out of it. A lot of moisture will start to come out of it, and then that chicken will steam rather than get that nice golden crust. After about 7 minutes, you've got a really nice color forming on the bottom of the pan, and that crust is developing on the chicken really nicely. Just going to move this out of the way for 1 second. Just pop it off to the side of the pan. Get that pan nice and hot again. Right here, I've got 3 whole eggs. I'm just going to pierce those yolks and then just mix this together. We'll tip that straight into the pan. And then what I have here is just 4 egg whites. Let this sit for about 20 to 30 seconds just to build up that color on the bottom, and then we can start mixing this all together. And then we can start mixing it together. You're going to get those really nice crusty pieces on that egg, and that flavor is developing really nicely. You can also mix it with the chicken as well. That's not a problem at all. Right now, we're going to cook this for a further 1 minute just to get that egg nice and crispy and thoroughly mixed with the chicken. What I have here is 400 grams or 14 ounces of frozen vegetables. I'm using a mix of peas, corn, and carrot. You can use any vegetables of your choice, and you can use fresh if you prefer, but it's so much easier with the frozen veg. Mix everything together, and we're going to cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes, just until we cook out any moisture that's decided to come out of those frozen vegetables. Also, keep the pan over a high heat for the time being. We want to get that nice fried flavor to develop all over everything in the pan. With everything mixed through, we can add in our garlic. I am going to add in a small pinch of salt. Just be wary with the sodium levels in our sauce. And with that in, just mix this around and cook that for about 30 seconds just to get the garlic nice and fragrant. At this point, we can add in all of our rice. It'll be a lot more firm if you did this the night before, but 20 to 30 minutes in the fridge isn't a problem at all. Break up the rice and just mix this through everything. We're going to cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes, just making sure everything is evenly combined and all of those flavors have become friends. This is also where we're going to get a really nice flavor developing on the rice, so we want to keep that pan over a nice high heat. So right now that rice is going to start catching on the bottom of the pan. It's going to build up a really nice texture and a really nice nutty flavor, exactly what we want. At this point, we can add in all of our sauce. I will also mention you're more than welcome to add more soy sauce if you prefer. I'm just adding a small amount because I don't want it to be overly salty. With the sauce in, just give everything a nice mix together. And we're only going to cook this for about 1 minute just to make sure all of that rice is covered in the sauce. It shouldn't be any clumps of any plain rice. Just make sure you break it up with a spatula or the back of a spoon if that is the case. Also, if you like a darker color on your rice, you're more than welcome to add some more dark soy sauce too. Just make sure you adjust the macros if you are counting them. Right towards the end, I've slightly turned the pan down now and I'm going to add in about half of that spring onion or scallion. Just adds a really nice pop of color and texture and freshness. All we need to do with this is fold it all together. And just make sure the seasoning is to your liking, adjusting with any more salt and pepper. But once you have that done, you should have a beautiful fried rice that looks like this. Turn it off the heat and remove it from the stovetop. Now this recipe makes 5 750 milliliter portions. You can weigh everything and then divide it evenly by 5, or you can just go by eye, which is what I do. If you wanted to make the portions a little bit smaller, you can get a 6th, even potentially a 7th portion out of this. It just depends on how big you like your portions. Of course, the macros will change if you are doing that, so you will need to adjust them accordingly. Now these will last 4 days in the fridge and 4 months in the freezer. Just allow them to cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes before placing on the lids and putting them in the fridge. When you're reheating them, just add a splash of stock or water. It's going to rehydrate everything. I do have a couple of comments out there saying that the rice is always dry. If you do add a little bit of moisture, you're not going to have that problem at all. And the best bet is going to be a microwave for about 2 to 3 minutes, just mixing it around. So as always, we can then dig in. It tastes exactly like takeaway, and it is so easy to make.